Hey everyone, Medheader here, and today we'll be making a option lock and option chain stone guide. Now, the option chain stones are these little blue gem looking things that have a hammer on them. They allow you to essentially change the options of your weapons and gear. Let me show you here. Now, we can go to Claude's weapon, click on the enhance option, go to option change, and here you'll see a different layout than your enhance layout. You can see a bunch of stats here with varying ranges from what they can be. For Dark Attack, we have 1108.1 to 1216.8. For Weapon Skill Regen Speed, 10% to 20%. Now, these are the stats that your weapon can provide you. They're not always going to be max. If you're lucky, extremely lucky in fact, you'll get them on a high roll when you get the weapon, but generally you're going to have to roll them at least a few times. Now, the way these work is you go here, hit this option, and then you hit the hammer, right? I'm only going to show you here. This is a waste for me here, but I'm just going to show you. You click it, and then this is what happens. Your weapon will look different, right? Stats will change. As you can see, my skill damage is no longer 15% on the weapon. It's now 8%. My defense is no longer 18%. It's now 0%. So this would be an option change that I would not want to keep, and you'd hit this revert option and keep your current options. Now, if you saw, my Dark Attack and my Weapon Skill Regen Speed didn't change. And the reason is because of these little red things called option lock stones. They have a little lock on them. You can differentiate them based on the symbol on them. And you can lock options, right? At first, for exclusive weapons, it's 10, 20, 30, and then 40, and then 50. It increases by 10 every single time you want to lock an additional option. Now, sub-options you can only lock one of, right? So items that have multiple sub-options, it can actually be quite difficult to get all of them, maxed, if not a high roll at least. It's going to be quite tough. So you want to be careful with these, as EX weapons consume a lot, while, for example, normal accessories, like here, let's just test it with this black crown ring. We can come here and hit the option chain stone, and let's see if we get anything. Nothing. Those are horrible changes, but we're going to show you here. We're going to lock this, the main option, which is defense, because it's the max roll. We're going to lock it, right? As you can see, it says it's locked and it's only going to consume one. That's because it's not an exclusive weapon or, a weapon. And as you can see, every single one takes more, right? I can't select HP and defense, and it's not because I don't have enough currency. It's actually because you can only select one sub option, like I've said. Now, I don't want to lock any of these because, once again, they're not max rolls. For gear, you're really going to want to primarily prioritize defense, and then you can, if you're new, I don't recommend bothering with the rest of the stats. A max base defense roll is really nice, and then HP and defense additionally are nice on tank accessories like Black Crown Ring. But once again, if you don't have the option chain stones, which you're not going to have a lot of early on, don't really bother too much outside of that, and don't begin with accessories. What you want to begin on is your weapons, right? Let's go to, as I've demonstrated, clothes. Let's check out Kama Elves. We can go to option change, and as we can see here, Earth Attack is max. That's the first thing you want to max out, and Weapon Skill Regen Speed. Those two are the most important things, right? Sometimes it's better to go for Weapon Skill Regen Speed maxed out. If you get either one max rolled, lock it, and then roll for the other one, right? But you generally want to lock Earth Attack first. But if you get Weapon Skill Regen Speed or Earth Attack max first, doesn't matter. Lock it and go for the other. You just want those two max, because your Elemental Attribute attack is always going to be good. It's fundamental to your DPS. And your Weapon Skill Regen Speed is very, very good if you're running them as a lead. Now, for accessories, let's go to Golden Pocket Watch. This is going to be what you're using on your leads for a lot of the early to mid game. Here, you're also going to prioritize Weapon Skill Regen Speed and Attack. I'd actually prioritize Weapon Skill Regen Speed over Attack, as, once again, if you're running it on an off-lead character, you're making a mistake. For off-leads, you're going to want to go for things like Sharpshooters, because Weapon Skill Regen Speed is useless for them. So if you're rolling a Sharpshooter, instead, you'd want to just max Attack and not care for anything else, really. Because Sharpshooter, you're only looking for two things, the crit chance and the attack boost. If you get those, you really don't care for anything else. The skill damage is completely useless because, well, you run Sharpshooter on non-lead characters, right? Non-lead characters who you want to do some damage with. You wouldn't be running Sharpshooter on a lead Claude because you want to be able to use his weapon skill. Now, that's going to be the basis on how to use them. Obtaining them is a bit odd, right? Option lock stones are, you either get a bunch of them and then you hold them, or they're a bit just difficult to get if you're just rolling weapons constantly. Your most consistent guaranteed way is going to be the monthly option chain stones within your mileage shop. If we go down here, we can find that you can buy 10 option chain stones a month, and they are 30 magic metals each. So it's going to be a total of 300 if you want all of them. This, if you can buy, I think you should get every single month. But I actually think you should prioritize the Epic exclusive equipment box first, because if the Epic exclusive equipment box doesn't give you something good, you can just level the weapon to 60 to unlock the collection bonus if you haven't already, and extract it, and then buy the option chain stones if you need them. So that's going to be your most consistent method. Now, there's obviously going to be other events and stuff that give you them. For example, here, if this would let us see, you can get 2 here. You can get 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 here, right? These are going to be nice methods, but once again, they're not really going to be consistent, as not always are these events going to be available, and not always are they going to be giving you the same amount or even the same rewards. Logins, I believe, sometimes can have them, but I don't think I've really consistently ever seen multiple logins have them. I just don't think you get them from logins consistently. But, there may be some rare event on some occasion where you might get a few here and there. Guardian Pass, I believe, has a bunch, yeah. If you get the paid version, you get quite a few option chain stones and option lock stones. It's definitely nice, but that's not really a free-to-play thing. But yeah, sometimes there will be bundles in the shop for gems that you can buy with gems, and they'll give you a bunch of option change and option lock stones, and I recommend you buy those if you can. If there isn't a character that you need to summon for really at the moment, then just go for that bundle, because they're super good, super worth it. And for those asking to buy this bundle, if you need the Legend Limit Breaking Hammer, it's worth, but if you don't, it's not really worth it, because that's primarily what you're paying for. The summon controllers are worth about 2,700 to 3,000 gems. 2,700 is what most people are going to value them at. So you get 4,700 gems worth of value if you need the Legend Limit Breaking Hammer off of this. So it's not too bad, plus the 50 additional hero crystals. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty decent deal. But if you don't need the Legend Limit Breaking Hammer, it's not really that nice, and you're probably better off buying the Epic Hammer that's here instead, or you can save for the upcoming World 17 banners. And that will be it. If this guide helped you out, if you enjoyed it, let me know. Join the community Discord. We've been having a lot of fun there, lots of fun discussions, and we've been talking a lot. It's been a great experience, and thank you for all the support. I'll see you all later.